Labeling theory is a self fulfilling prophecy or stereotype. It has the tendency of the majority negatively labeling the minority, or anything that is different from the cultural norm. Labeling theory originates from Howard Becker during the 1960s. He studied people's interactions and their behaviors. It is explained in his book, The Outsiders, why people's behaviors clash with social norms. Persons labeled incorporates the label and their self-identity. He wanted to answer the question, who is he? The deviant, that is. He can't just be the deviant. He has to be something else and wants to know how he got there. Alongside Becker, there was Edward Lemert. I think that's how you say his name. He added on to the research and believed that deviance was primary and had a secondary side to it as well. The primary deviance was behavior that society viewed as, deviant. And the second part of, which is the secondary deviance, he stated that when somebody is being labeled, that person believes and accepts the label that they're being called. So they can be called, a felon, a criminal, a thug, and they begin to believe that they are that, and it becomes a part of their identity. An example again is, a thug or a thief, and when they try to change, they can't, because it's become a part of their identity, and people know them as that. So, like, for example, the whole Black Lives Matter, police versus the public, every black person is going to look at, to be a bad person, when in reality not all black people are bad, and not all cops are bad. We do have some out there, but from society's point of view, it's like all black people are bad because of some bad apples. Who applies these labels? Police and judges, people of authority figure. And because they are an authority figure, we begin to believe that, these minorities, or these people that are being labeled, are going to be that for the rest of their lives, even though they try to change. The effects on labeling, usually it's bad or negative for the person that is being labeled. They began to be self-conscious and whatnot, and the person that's doing the labeling becomes the hero and becomes positive for the community. What causes the deviance behavior? That's the question. That's the big question. There lacks research, so it's not really known. We don't know why this happens. Sometimes, the whole secondary deviance thing that Edward was talking about is that, there could be somebody who had a mom that was a prostitute, or had a family member that was a prostitute, or a thug and all this and that, but because they have morals, or they have somebody to look up to, they reject the deviance and they don't become that person. But the labeling theory, no behavior is considered deviant unless it is shown. So I can be, I can go and steal stuff, but if you don't know about it, you'll think that I'm an angel. There's, like, the people who do the labeling, people say that they can't be labeled because they're the good people, they're the heroes, that show who's the labeler. In reality, People believe